Hey guys, IE7 here today to get you started with making maps for Urban Terror. So first of all, this program here called URT Mapping 4.1 will automate many of the tasks I'm about to do. Specifically, it will install these three files, and it will also handle copying your Urban Terror folder. But I'm not going to be using this. I would recommend using it, but a lot of people have errors using it. So I'm going to go through the manual method. So first of all, let's install the GTK runtime environment. It will be the runtime environment that GTK Radiant, the map making program that we're going to be using, uses. So let's install this real quick. It's nice and fast. Alright, that's done already. Let's go to GTK Radiant. Complete, install, finish. Now let's go ahead and install Q3 Map 2 Tools, which will be our compiler and sort of testing program as well, as you'll see. Just going to replace everything. Okay, so let's close out of this. I want to put this out of the way for now. So let's go ahead and open up our Urban Terror folder and copy everything that's not a directory. So basically the exe and the DLLs and some other things. So copy these, and we're going to make a second instance of them. So let's just call this tutorial mapping, or tutorial. I pressed enter too quickly. So let's copy and paste these. And now open up the Q3UT folder. Let's create another instance here. And we're just going to copy these ZURT files, which is pretty much the backbone for Urban Terror. So we have to have those to run the game. And let's go ahead and also copy our Q3 config so we can keep our screen resolution and our mouse settings. So Q3 config right here. Paste that. Okay, so we have tutorial Q3UT4. Now let's go ahead and I think we can close. I need this folder as well for the bumpy client, which I use. Besides that, I think that should be it. So let's go ahead and open up GTK Radiant now. So we don't have to worry about global preferences. For the game, choose Quake 3 Arena. Click OK. Engine path is going to be the directory that we just created. So for me, it's games/tutorial. Click OK. Go to project settings. Go to custom Quake 3 modification, and for FS game, type in Q3UT4. Click OK. Alright, now close out of Radiant. Alright, so we have the Q3UT4 here. Let's go ahead and create a folder called textures. And I have another zip file called firstmap.zip that I am going to include in the about section of this video. So this file contains just sample textures for us to use. So we're going to have a folder called textures and a subfolder called first map, and in that will be these textures here. And one more thing, I also have this file called common.pk3. We're going to copy this into the Q3UT4 folder. So we have this, and I'm going to go ahead and hide those Z files that we copied because I don't have to worry about those anymore. And let's open up Radiant again and click on Common. Let's go ahead and make this fixed size. So to give you a brief overview of how this works, so I just press 9 on my keyboard and that controls the grid here. So I'm going to click Calc and just create a little box. Okay, and I'm pressing Control Tab on my keyboard to change the view here. See how if I drag this up, makes it like a little skyscraper. So this, for the grid, is 256 units now each block. If I click here, for example, each spot will be 8 units, which is pretty standard. That's if I press 4 on my keyboard as well, 9, 4. So let's hit 4. And note if I zoom into this box, there's nothing there. It's just one big box. It's not hollow. It's just one big solid entity. So let's click right here, hollow. Now I can zoom into it, and we actually have a little room already. So scroll down to first map, which is that directory we just created, and hold Control Shift and click these faces, and click For Metal 2. That sets a texture to these faces. Now I'm holding Control on my keyboard and moving the mouse to the left just for easy navigation. I'll also include a list of all of the GTK Radiant keyboard and mouse commands. It's hard for me to go over all of them because there are just so many, and they're kind of just natural to me now. But anyway, this here is still caulked, which is good, because if I place a texture here, the game or the compiler has to render this or deal with it. You know, for modern computers it's not bad, but it's just good practice to do, especially when we get to large maps. So we have a little room here. I'm going to select the floor just to make sure I'm properly oriented. Press Escape. Let's go to Info, Player Start. And this is where you're going to, the player will first spawn. We can create multiple instances as well if we want. Just make them face each other. I can rotate this by clicking the Z-axis rotate. Notice how this turns clockwise. And now they're facing each other. Okay. And now I can actually go ahead and save this map. Just call it My Map. And let's get Q3 Map 2 tools set up, and we can actually go ahead and play this map. So first of all, go to Configuration Tool. For long name of game, type in Urban Terror. You can't press Tab because it goes here. It's not the best program, but I like it still. Type in URT for the short name. Leave this as base Q3, and for me, I'm going to name this Handler. Okay, click add. Actually, first of all, we need to have this set to no, and this set to no. So click Add, go to Q3 Map 2 Tools, and this is already set. But to explain this really quickly, it's not set actually. Where's it at? Okay. Tutorial. So this is actually my handler file already. But what this is going to do is well, I'll go over it as we go. So this is the handler file right here, which I'm including in the tutorial.zip. So let's point the path to handler to the handler in our tutorial directory. Path to Q3 map will be the path to the GTK Radiant directory, and scroll down, Q3 map 2, that'll be the compiler. Then click OK. Go to Q3 UT4, and there's our map. Select FS base path and select BSP. Click Build. Click Refresh, and click Dev Map. So when you click Dev Map, that will call a dev map with my map argument onto handler, and handler will pass that on to the file that we choose, which I'm going to choose Bumpy Client. Most people will probably choose Quake 3, so anyway, I'm going to choose this. and we can input some persistent commands that will be used. So a very useful one is G game type 9, which is jump mode, and G no damage 1, so you won't take fall damage. So this will give you save load. Let's give you stamina as well, G stamina 1. So you can type in regain stamina in the console and you'll regain stamina when you stop moving. So click save, exit out, and then click dev map. And here's the little box we just made. So I think that'll do it for this first tutorial. I don't want to make it too long yet. But yeah, here's your first box. Hopefully you got everything set up. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the video and I'll address them. I'd love to have more mappers making stuff for this game. And until the next video, which will be showing you how to make a first jump with respawns and a little bit of lighting. Until that video, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.